The WNBA and its players have 24 days to reach an agreement on a new CBA deal for next season. And if they do not, we are heading towards a lockout. How long is that lockout going to be? Great question. If it does head in that direction, I believe we could see a minimal of 20 games missed. I do believe that because the players are not budging. You have Napheesa Collier obviously calling out Cathy last week. And now in this report here, according to Ramona Shelburne, Minnesota Lynx star Napheesa Collier has canceled her meeting with WNBA Commissioner Cathy Engelbert. That's what sources told Kendra Andrews and me. Engelbert's press conference on Friday pushed the relationship beyond repair because, like I said, that response was whack. I keep saying this over and over again. When you get accused of something, you got to defend yourself. You don't have to just give a non-answer. If this happened to David Stern, he's going to say something about it because you're attacking his character. In regards if he should have revealed that conversation or not, players and coaches have been saying all year long in their press conferences about the referee problems. They've been vocalizing it, and it came to a point where Collier called her out. Now, there are people saying, well, Collier has unrivaled, and she has a lot of stake in that league along with Breanna Stewart, so they'll be just fine if there is a lockout. That's a fair criticism, and she could have some incentive with taking this stand and trying to take more power away. But at the same time, we can't ignore the obvious. The refs in this league have been terrible. It has gotten to a point where you have to say to yourself, this league needs to take some type of accountability for their product. You look at how Caitlin Clark got bullied all year long, and there was no repercussions, there was no suspensions, there's no flagrant fouls called. The refs never took control of a game. And when there should have been a suspension on a player, it didn't happen. When there should have been a fine, it didn't happen. If you see this in the NBA, when Draymond Green was committing a bunch of antics, he got suspended. And the NBA does a better job, in my personal opinion, with protecting their star players. But when it comes to WNBA, they do a poor job. Cathy Engelbert has come out and said herself that the WNBA, I'm obviously paraphrasing here, it's comparable to the NFL. And it's like, no, you are not like the NFL. I'm fine with imposing your will out there and dictating the game and how it should go. With all that being said, there needs to be a boundary with the physicality because when you see a woman pulling another woman's hair down to the ground, no calls are made or pokes in the eye from like Dejanay Carrington, and you enable that activity to go on, well, eventually it's going to reach a boiling point. And that's where we're at with the WNBA. And I've said on record, they can't afford a lockout. The league is building, but they're not at the point where they can draw a consistent viewership outside of Caitlin Clark games. And you can argue the Liberty and ticket sales with the Golden State Valkyries because the Valkyries has a strong support from their fan base. If you watch the Warriors in the past, even before Steph Curry arrived in Golden State, the fans sold out those games. If you watch the TNT late night game with the Warriors, fans are packing the arena because the fans in Golden State love basketball. Same thing with Indiana because the Fever play there. That's why fans are showing up because Indiana is known for its basketball. And if you take away the WNBA and fans are paying attention to something else next summer, then you bring it back. It's like, okay, maybe I'll tune in, maybe I won't. And now you're losing that interest. And also it affects rookies. I think they're going to have the biggest impact because they don't get a chance to develop their career, get some reps in, and get exposure. Now they have to find somewhere else to play. If they can't participate in Unrivaled, it's just a complete mess. The WNBA and the players are going to do themselves a disservice if there's a lockout. And I think it could really kill the league, in my opinion. I don't know. That's a bold claim to make. However, I just think this league can afford to sit out games at all. They have to find some type of middle ground. One of the things that the league can do and the players need to look at this is ask yourselves about the operational costs. Why are you spending so much money on certain things? Maybe you can cut back and give more to the players. Look, they're going to end up getting a raise, maybe not what they're looking for. However, you got to build slowly. And this league needs to take its time with expansion teams, with building out their fan bases and increasing the value of these franchises. It doesn't happen overnight. And viewership is getting better. But just because you have a lot of revenue doesn't mean it turns into profit. That's where people get confused. Like you look at the prices of the WNBA finals games, they're very affordable. They're not expensive. If you have Caitlin Clark in those games, those prices go up because she has a higher demand. Now with Asia Wilson and DeWanna Bonner and those players, people are like, okay, cool. Maybe I'll go to the game. Maybe I'll watch the game. But we also have football season. And the NBA is running around the corner. There's a lot of different things taking people's attention. And if your main talking points is about fair pay, women empowerment, it's like, okay, can you talk about basketball? I don't want to hear about this all the time. Or when you're attacking a fan base like the Fever this past season, where the Sky were claiming, oh, the fans are racist, and then the league looked into it and they found no evidence. That's just another example of the league being dumb, in my opinion. Why attack a fan base that's helping you build up the WNBA? And then you have a situation where Paige Beckers is on the front of an article for fan attendance when it should have been one of the players from the Valkyries, because they were the best team at fan attendance, but you didn't give them enough credit. So I just think when it comes to marketing, the WNBA needs to get better at. And I criticize the NBA for this as well, because they do a poor job of marketing their current superstars. They're fixated on Kevin Durant, LeBron, and Steph Curry when they should fixate their attention more on guys like SGA, guys like Victor Wembanyama, the young guys that are in that 20 to 30 range, not the older guys, because that is the players that are going to carry the league going forward after LeBron, Steph, and KD are gone. So I just think when it comes to marketing, the WNBA can do a better job. Now, of course, we can talk about firing Cathy Engelbert, but the owners have to vote on that. But if the players keep up the pressure and the media keeps saying, look, you need to step down, I think she eventually will resign, and I think she needs to get out of there. And they need fresh blood. Now, has she done a poor job with increasing player salaries? No, I saw an article where they were at, like, I think 35,000 for an average player. Now it's up to over, I think, 100,000. I don't have the exact numbers. All I know is she's helped increase their salaries. Now, if the players are expecting a lot more revenue share, they need to tamper those expectations and just meet in the middle, focus on things you can improve, like better refereeing, because if you can improve the product, more people are going to watch. If it's a bunch of rugby play, prison ball, and we're seeing Caitlin Clark get hurt again and no accountability, then people are just going to walk away from the sport and just not give you another chance. So it's very important for the players to do some evaluation here. I understand the frustrations with Cathy. She's just not it, in my opinion. And we'll see if she does step down. Hope you guys enjoyed my thoughts on this situation with the WNBA lockout. Do you think it's going to happen? And do you think they can afford it or not? Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel, and I'll catch you all in the next one.